You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Thank you for joining me here today on our Weight Loss and Wednesday show. We're going to be talking about how to recommit to your body transformation goals and better understand the best times of the year to actually get into those cycles of body transformation. A lot of people think that they could just start a plan and then just commit to it and keep going for the next 12 months or 2 years with no highs and lows. And I'm here to tell you today that literally after 250,000 client appointments, I can tell you there are specific times of the year that it's best to recommit to your goals. And we are entering one of those points right now. So here's the thing. Success, getting to our goals, achieving our ideal body is not a straight linear line to the finish line. That's not how it works. There are certainly highs and certainly lows, and I'm going to explain those as we move through today's show and how you can expect them to come and then how you can move through them quickly to keep those results coming. So right now, we're literally entering one of my favorite periods of the year, the fall, right after Labor Day here in the United States. And this is when, I hate to see it go because I love summer so much, without a doubt. But then again, I also enjoy the seasons here in New England. We get all 4 seasons, and it's pretty amazing as well, except for that whole January through March thing, but we'll save that for another day. So when we look at the seasons, we can say, all right, summer is officially over. And during the summer, we have a tendency to drink a little bit more, to eat a little bit more, to socialize a little bit more, especially if you're in a climate where it's not warm all year round. We don't have all this beautiful weather. So what happens is after the summer's over, the cool weather starts to move in a little bit. We get back into a routine. Kids go back to school. Work kind of gets back off on a new foot. We start to recommit to our goals at work, and certainly it gets a little bit busier for most of us. But here's the thing. If you look at it right now, right after Labor Day, so Labor Day, I believe, is the 4th or 5th this year in September, that Tuesday is the absolute perfect time to recommit. But even before we get to next Tuesday, what I want you to do is this. I want you to think about this week. What are your specific body transformation goals going to be? I'll tell you right now, it could be something this simple. You look into yourself and say, you know what? I could really lose another 10, 15 pounds, 15, 20 pounds, whatever it might be. All I have to say is this, is that my goal is going to be to lose 1 pound per week. Now, if I lose more, great. If I only lose that 1 pound, well, okay, I'm happy with that as well. And they say, all right, well, that's your starting point. Now you're going to say, what am I going to do that? If you haven't been exercising, well, of course, you'll try to add in 2 to 3 days of exercise to start. You can always ramp it up more, and you always want to get in those 10,000 steps per day, as I've said. I'm not going to give you the whole workout routine right now. We've talked about that before on the Cabral Concept. Simply tune back in for those training Thursdays by going to stephencabral.com/podcast. But here's the thing to think about. Why do we have these cycles during the year? Here's why. So July and August, especially New England. I'm from Boston, go to Maine quite a bit during the summer. Love it there, one of the most beautiful places on earth. And we have July and August as kind of a down period of time. Again, enjoying more friends and family coming up to visit, enjoying more nice foods that I might typically not eat during another time of the year. And when I get back to September, I'm looking, okay, well now time to recommit. And I have about 12 weeks before Thanksgiving. Now, again, for most of us, between Thanksgiving and Hanukkah or Thanksgiving and Christmas, we have a 6-week period, or maybe even, right around 6 weeks or so, where eating isn't going to be as good as it should be either. More holiday parties. I typically have like 2 holiday parties, 3 holiday parties a week, all the way from the week after Thanksgiving all the way through the new year. And so what happens then is we can look at that, okay, well, that's not going to be one of our highs in terms of transforming our body. This is where it gets really, really important. Again, I didn't know any of this until we started doing all of these sessions. And for the past, I don't even know how many years it's been now, but over 250,000 client appointments, I can tell you this is real data. And so I want to tell you how to move through all of these different marks as well. But think about this. You have 12 weeks starting next week, 12 real weeks to put in real work. And in 12 weeks, the average person can lose 1% of their body weight per week if they're looking to lose weight. So what does that mean? Well, if you weigh 150 pounds and you want to lose weight, well, that's 1.5 pounds per week. So that's 18 pounds in 12 weeks. That's very doable. That's actually very easy to do. We have people lose 18 pounds on a 21-day Dr. Ball detox. But again, that's a little bit more involved. But you can lose that just by going through eating healthy food, exercising, those types of things. If it isn't, well, then you need to, if things aren't working, well, that's when you need to either do something like the Dr. Ball detox or even a 24-hour reset, work with a health coach, work with a personal trainer, nutritionist that whatever it might be. But first you have to do that type of work. Okay, so that's the goal. Pick your 12 weeks, get right into the work. And again, you can be really strong for those 12 weeks. And I also say we have to be realistic with ourselves during the year as well. We can't always expect, I'm just going to go right through Thanksgiving and Christmas and not only have one cheat meal. Like that's all it's going to be. What happens is this. Sometimes we set ourselves up for disappointment. I want you to go straight through as well. I want you to eat healthy every single meal if you can, but most people can't. And most people don't desire to. For example, even myself, I've said this before, I'm having one cheat meal per week minimum where, again, now that I've reached my goals, where I'm having any foods that I want. Like yesterday, for example, was my cheat meal. And I had a big bowl of pasta and I had a little bit of bread, two of my favorite foods in the whole world. I do that once a week and I thoroughly enjoy it. And I don't plan on ever stopping that. And again, if I was to get some type of dis-ease of the body, unhealthy for whatever reason, well, then I would cut that out for sure. But when you're healthy, you've achieved your goal weight or even haven't achieved your goal weight, but you can still do a once a week cheat meal. So again, want to be realistic with that. But now when the holidays come in, sometimes it's not just once a week, sometimes it's twice, sometimes it's 3 times. In the summer, those weekends can be Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. It can get a little longer. So I just want for us to be realistic and say, okay, well, we can do this at certain times during the year and we're going to be a little stronger then. And then we're going to try to move through those lows. So let's talk about those lows just for a moment. Those lows come after always our highs, right? So the lows we'll talk about right now is after we finish our 12 weeks. We go from right after Labor Day, and we can have once a week cheat meals, no problem, but we go strong then through Thanksgiving. Okay, now a low, meaning like we're not going to be as able to achieve our goals because we're not going to be eating as cleanly, maybe missing some workouts. Again, I'm just trying to be realistic. I hope we can hit them all, but that might be a period of time at least where it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, but that's okay. So we have a little bit more of a challenge then, but now after that, we move on to a high, and the high is always New Year's, right? That New Year's resolution. Well, whether you love New Year's resolutions or not, starting January 1st is always a great time to recommit to your goals or just say, you know what? Forget about specific goals in general, but I'm going to be healthier this year. Why not? I mean, you should just focus on health in general. Now, if body transformation is part of that, fine. Again, it's not always about weight loss either. Maybe you're trying to pack on some muscle. Well, I certainly believe you could put on 4 to 6 pounds of lean muscle within 4 to 12 weeks. Now, when I say within 12 weeks. Now, when I say 4 to 6 pounds or 6 pounds or so, I'm not talking about dry muscle weight. Again, for people looking to transform their body, you can do that by increasing the cellular volume of your muscle tissue. And that's called a sarcoplasm. We're not talking about the myofibril-based fiber, right? That's dry weight of muscle. That's totally different ballgame. What we're talking about is actually making the muscle swell. That is your muscle tissue, right? So you have the extracellular and intercellular fluid. I'm not going to get too deep on today's podcast on that, but that's not body fat, right? We're talking about not body fat. We're talking about putting on muscle. That's a different story. All right, let's get back on track. That's me talking to myself here. So we have that next high, which is New Year's, all right? And what I found is this, is that most highs during the year, when you put in real work, last about 8 to 12 weeks. And that's a lot of time. That's 2 to 3 months of real work. But then what happens? Well, we get a little bit of a low, like that New Year's. Well, I see it fade right around somewhere around late February. Well, you committed for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. You see it start to slide because the commitment's gone because you can't hold on to it for that long. So again, unless you have a workout partner, you have someone keeping you accountable, a coach, whatever it might be, a little bit more challenging. But then the first wave of spring comes. So we start to feel that warm air. And then all of a sudden we get revitalized. And that is our next peak during the year, springtime, somewhere around April. Again, we're talking about like warmer climates, right? In New England or anywhere really above Atlanta, Georgia, at least in the United States, when we're looking at that, we know that that's actually a time when we start to get a little bit more vitamin D, meaning like the sun has actual strength to be able to give us a little bit of a tan, a little bit of that vitamin D. And we get that little bit of spark. Okay, summer's coming around the corner. I have 8 weeks, 12 weeks maximum to get in shape for summer. So do you see that? We're looking at 3 main highs during the year. A lot of people don't know this, but just again, drawing upon almost 2 decades of experience working with clients. So we're looking at that New Year's to start it off. Then we're looking at late spring or right around April, May, we'll say. And then we're looking at we'll go through the summer and then we go after summer, right after Labor Day. So September, January, right around early May. Those are our peaks. Let's take advantage of that. But also just remember this, that it's great to keep those highs going as long as you can. I also want you to be realistic that you're not going to be perfect every meal, but your goal is going to be to go 21 days straight. Again, always 21 days straight. We do it for our Fat Velocity plan. That's phase 1, 21 days straight. The Dr. Ball Detox, 21 days straight. Why do most people say 21 days straight? Not just me. It's not just me saying this. The reason they say it is that you need that amount of time to break the sugar addictions, to break all those addictions, to re-regulate those blood sugar levels, to decrease inflammation, to get the body feeling great so that when you do have that cheat meal then, you don't just slide back into old habits because you actually know what it feels like to feel great. You've had enough time. Your body's kind of detached from all that sugar, and it allows you then to have the cheat meal, wake up the next morning, get back on track. I'm telling you, that's really what it's all about. So that's what I try to maintain now. And again, with the understanding that when it's summertime, it might be more than one cheat meal per week. And then when it's the holidays and I'm looking at Christmas Eve and I'm looking at Christmas Day and then I'm looking at New Year's Eve, like 6 days later, there's going to be a few more cheats. That's just the way it is. And I choose that. Again, no one's telling me to do that. I could not have those treat meals if I don't want to, but I choose to. I got myself healthy. I got myself to my healthy weight. And that's just what I'm trying to share with you as well, is that you get to enjoy all of these things. But here's the thing. I want you to really work towards that. I want you to earn that. It feels so much better once you've earned it because there's no guilt at all. A lot of people I talk with, they have guilt when they have a cheat meal. They have guilt when they have drinks with their friends. I don't want you to have that guilt. So what I want you to do is work towards your goals. Even if you haven't fully achieved them, go 21 days. But even if you haven't fully achieved the body transformation or the wellness, you can still enjoy a meal out with friends. Just get back on track that next day. I'm telling you, that will work. And I really believe that by understanding these certain timelines during the year and understanding that you have real body transformation goals, but you're not going to be able to hold strong for 365 days straight. When you understand those two things, that there's highs and lows, and you can keep your highs going for as long as you can, and when you hit a low, that you try to raise back up as soon as possible. If you understand those things, I'm telling you right now, that will allow you then to get recommitted to your body transformation goals. That will allow you to get re-excited about those body transformation goals. And I believe that is that first step to next week, starting to get back into an exercise routine, start to clean back up your nutrition, maybe do a detox, maybe get into a smoothie in the morning, maybe check out a personal trainer in your area, get an accountability partner, any of these things. Because by doing that, by taking that first step, you are going to then ride that high for much longer. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, I think I'll maybe go to the gym. No, commit to what gym you're going to go to. Commit to the days of the week. Block it off in your schedule. Order the detox. Do the smoothies. Go food shopping. Whatever it might be. Make that commitment. It's easy enough to make that first commitment because you don't need to do it yet. You just need to commit to doing something and make yourself accountable. Whether you spend the money on something, whether you contact the workout partner, whether you contact the personal trainer, whatever it might be, do that thing. That is then going to lead to the next step, which is you showing up and doing that actual action. That's really what it's all about. So get yourself excited. This is one of the best times of the year, whether you need to lose weight or not, to recommit to getting yourself healthier, recommit to your own body transformation goals. Recommit to making it the healthiest you for this last quarter or so of the year. Thank you everyone for tuning into another Cabral Concept. I really appreciate each and every one of your listens. Please do feel free to share this show with anyone you believe it could help.
Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.